Hello, folks. The old Hunter here with another episode of Sit and Have a Laugh with Pat. I'm going to tell a little story about moonshine. My uncle on my mama's side, he took it naturally because my grandpa made moonshine in the barn right behind the house and sold about hundreds of gallons a week right off his front porch. Of course, he paid the sheriff a little bit of money and all to keep him getting arrested. Anyway, my uncle had him a moonshine still for about as long as I can remember. He only run it right just before Christmas, and we had to pay taxes on his property. He didn't run it all year. You know, he had a job, so he wasn't what you call a full-time moonshiner, but he made some of the best moonshine there was. I mean, all them bar joints and all like that up Highway 49, they'd buy his moonshine and they'd sell it behind the bar just like blended whiskey. That's how good it was. And he had a hard time getting sugar. These revenuers, they go around these little small country stores, and they see one of these stores selling 2,000-3,000 pounds of sugar a week. They automatically knew, hey, there's somebody in this area buying sugar for moonshine, because they ain't a little store going to sell that amount of sugar. I don't think they sell that much even during canning season when they put up jams and jellies. So he told me, look, he said, it's getting hard for me to get sugar. He said, you think you and your wife? Well, if you heard that, then somebody just shot, probably killed him a deer right across the lake over there. He said, if you don't mind, would y'all, when you come down here next time, let me know. He said, would y'all stop at the stores all the way down and go in about like 10 pounds of sugar a piece? I said, sure. As a matter of fact, we coming down to Mom and Daddy's this weekend. And I said, we'll stop all the way down and get as much sugar as we can. He said, I appreciate it. He said, I need to make a run. I said, okay. So we started stopping right there past the Gula, all the stores. Getting 10. I had a big old station wagon. I had a tarp in the back. So we started getting that sugar, putting it out, covered it with the tarp. Going to the next door, get 10 pounds of beef, brown that, put it, cover it with the tarp. Down we got to Pasco Shan. I'm going to tell you something right now. That old station wagon was dragging pretty low in the rear end. So I said, well, we was going to take a run with my uncle's. He lived up in DeLille. So we took off. You hear them geese honking? Listen. Ain't that pretty? I love listening to things they fly honking like that. So anyway, we went to his house. He come out there with his tracks and a little trailer he had made up. When I looked at all these, that'll be plenty. There'll be some left. I'll store it in the barn. It's okay. Well, it was about, I don't know, maybe a month and a half later after that. Went up there, visited him. I thought I was going to go up there and do a little hunting. What I thought I was going to do. I thought I was going to go up there and maybe kill a wild pig. But anyway, he asked me, he said, Pat, he said, would you mind running my still for me? I got to go somewhere. It's about 4 or 5 hours, he says. And I sure appreciate it. I said, ain't no problem. No problem at all. I knew what a still was. I've been there 100 times. So I went on down. He said, it's just about ready to start condensing. He says, you know what you do? He said, you got to put your bucket underneath it. When it comes out of the condenser column, just about fills your bucket up, dump in that wooden barrel. He said, just keep doing that until I get back. It's okay. Well, I sat there, and of course, you know, just a little dribble like that. Ain't no big stream, you know. That condenser column is condensing that steam is turning that steam alcohol and come right out and goes right in a little 5-gallon bucket. Well, it take, I'm gonna say probably an hour to fill the 5-gallon bucket full. So I'm sitting there and getting kind of bored, and there was a coffee cup sitting on a stump right there by me. I got the coffee cup. I reached down and got me just about a spoonful of that shine. Now this is the first run. This run here will knock your socks off, okay? And I'll explain what I'm talking about the first run. When you take and get your corn and everything all soured up, you put it in your cooker, you're going to cook it off, it's going to make steam and condense. That's going to be your strongest run right there. That run probably be 120 proof, maybe more. Then you take that same mash and all, you put it back in your cooker, with some more sugar, and you run it again. Well, that's going to be a little weaker. Then you got your third run, they call it low wine, because it ain't real strong at all. And then we get all three of your runs mixed all together, and you come out with about 105 proof moonshine. And it will knock your socks off. Well, I'm sitting there, reached out that coffee cup, got me about a spoonful, took a little swallow of it. Boy, that was good. It slid down just like It's like good old whiskey should slide down. So I'm sitting there. About every 10, 15 minutes, they can get me that little bitty spoonful. Well, when my uncle come down there to take over running, I was passed out in the chair. The bucket had done been full and run over in the creek. No telling how much went in the creek. He lost a lot of whiskey. And I couldn't even stand up. Well, the moral to that story is he never asked me to run his moonshine still for him again. I'd get his sugar, but I couldn't run it still for him. Okay, folks. Tell you another one about moonshine. My older brother, he's a couple years older than me. He run my uncle still a good bit sometimes. When they had a big order, he'd go down there and run it for him. He decided he was going to build his own still. So he made up a 250-gallon cooker, which is a pretty good size still. And he got it all set up. And some guys that lived in that area, I won't call no name nothing, because I still believe to this day that they set him up. I really do. They come to him and say, look, we got an order for 250 gallons right there on Highway 49. We ain't got no run. Won't you take that? He said, sure. And that's his first run. He gets down there on Highway 49, and who's it sell it to but a revenuer? So what does that sound like to you? I think he was set up myself, because he was making some good stuff. And them other guys made rot gut. I mean, they made whiskey. They killed somebody, you know. Using darn old car radiator for the condenser and whole 55-gallon drums, letting it mash and all work, be dead birds and rats and stuff in it. I mean, just that's the type of beer that earns the name moonshine. Because moonshine is made right, nice and clean, and your pressure on your cookers right and everything else. It's as good as any bonded whiskey you want to drink, if not even better. Well, he passed away about 6 months ago, but as far as I know, he never went back to that still. And that was all made out of, he made it all out of stainless steel, top of the line. So I guess somebody else probably found it and when he had started moved it probably and started making moonshine with it. But he did get to make him one run. Okay, folks. I'll talk to you later.